What's up everybody, Subaru fan here, and today I want to talk about the new 2017 BRZ that Subaru unveiled just today, and it has some nice updates to it, but it's pretty underwhelming to a lot of people, and so the basic rundown: it gets 5 extra horsepower and 5 additional pound-feet of torque, which is the same exact bump that the new Toyota 86 got as well, which was unveiled a couple of months ago, and so yes, 5 whole horsepower, and I'll get back to that and talk more about that in a minute here. But first, let's just talk about the way it looks and start with the positives, because I think it looks spectacular, especially whenever you compare it to the new Toyota 86 restyle, which looks okay, I guess, but I think the BRZ looks a lot better. I mean, I love the restyled front bumper, and they now have those LED headlights as standard, which are very sweet with the boomerang daytime running lights now. And in the back there, you have new LED taillights, which are very nice. You also have an aluminum rear spoiler that comes on all models, not just the limited. All of them get the spoiler now, which is great. And a few other little tweaks here, you know, with different wheels, and on the inside, it's also improved. There now is a new Starlink head unit, which is a little bit better. And then if you get a limited one, you also now get a little screen in the gauge cluster, which will give you your G-forces, as well as a lap timer and things like that, which is a nice improvement as well. Although the way that it fits in there with that little screen, it's not very finished. You have a lot of blank space and stuff, but nice to have that nonetheless. There are some other updates aside from just the exterior and interior though, and there's some good performance improvements here. They've gone through the whole car really, and they've fine-tuned a lot of different things. The first thing is there's a new performance package you can get, which includes Brembo brakes and some unique wider wheels as well to house those Brembo brakes. And it's cool that they're adding this as an option, but it's kind of strange for 2 reasons. The first is I don't think the BRZ really needs Brembo brakes. I mean, it's cool, you know, the bigger brakes the better, and you know, it's cool eye candy in the wheel well there, but you know, the car doesn't normally get up to extremely high speeds, and I mean, for those that do track the car, I could see the Brembos probably being worth it, but I mean, I owned a BRZ for 2 years, never once felt like the brakes were insufficient, and so you know, I think it's nice that they have this option, and it makes it one step closer to an STI model, but seems a little bit overkill for me personally, you know, in my opinion. The other strange thing though is that the performance package is only available on the limited trim. You can't get it on the base trim BRZ, which is kind of odd because once again, the limited one is going to be the slightly heavier one and the more luxurious one. You would think that people that do take the car to the track and will be needing the Brembo brakes would be getting the base model, and you know, a stripped out, lightweight, bare bones BRZ, not the one with the heated seats and you know, the auto climate control and all that other stuff. So kind of strange, you know, that they included it on, you know, the limited one, the heavier version. But that's what they're saying. Also, that performance package isn't available until this winter, so there's gonna be a little bit of delay on that performance package as well. Another thing, though, that is standard for all the BRZs here for 2017 is new shocks, performance shocks, and dampers. And so they supposedly give better control in the corners. They also went through the entire suspension though, and so there's a larger rear sway bar now. There's different you know, tuning for the dampers and things like that, and new struts. All that kind of stuff has been redone, and so they say that it handles better because of it, of course. And so great to see that they have done that. They also said they've recalibrated the traction control system and the stability control system. So in a BRZ, there is a sport button that you can hit. The FRS and the 86 all have it as well, so that, you know, it lets you get the back end out a little bit more, and you can also turn it off completely. Well, that sport mode is now called track mode because they've recalibrated it to be more lenient and allow more slip, and so because of that, they said, well, now we call it track mode because it's a little too lenient for street use. So I'm sure it still will be totally manageable on the street, but cool to see that they've recalibrated that as well. So let's get back to that engine and talk about that. So it's 5 additional horsepower and 5 additional pound-feet of torque. But that's only if you get the manual transmission version. If you go for the automatic, it's still the same 200 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque. But it's kind of strange that they say that, considering all the things they said they changed about the engine in order for it to have that 5 additional horsepower. Here's all the things they said they had to change. They have new valves in it, a new camshaft, new cylinder heads, a new aluminum intake manifold, and a redesigned exhaust manifold. So you're telling me with all those changes, you only got 5 additional horsepower when a drop-in air filter could probably get you almost 5 additional horsepower? Just seems kind of strange. And, you know, I mean, I know they probably have reasons for why they do whatever they do at Subaru and Toyota, and you know, that's what they decided on as being the good amount to add. But just doesn't seem like it makes any sense. If you're going to do all those changes, why not, you know, make it faster? Because everyone wants more power. It's no secret. Every single person, I think, that likes this car, you know, wants more power. And that's the main thing keeping people from buying them. And even the people that do buy them, like myself, after 2 years, I was like, I'm sick of this. I need more power. And you can go to the aftermarket if you want, I know, and get a supercharger or turbo. And then there goes your warranty. There goes, you know, reliability and stuff like that. Sometimes you take additional risks whenever you go forced induction, and not everyone wants that. Some people want factory, you know, safe horsepower with a warranty and stuff, and it just seems like little mini rant here, I still don't understand why Subaru won't make a faster version, because we know that the new WRX engine, you know, in the 2015 and up models, has the BRZ motor with a turbo on it. It's the same motor, the FA20, and there's been people that have swapped the WRX version into the BRZ engine bay, and it fits. I know, I think the original holdup was they said it wouldn't fit, or that if it did fit, they would have to raise the engine up a little bit because the turbo sits on the bottom, and so, you know, that engine is super low in the BRZ for the super low center of gravity. But, okay, so you're going to ruin the handling by raising the engine up even an inch or two. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Again, I'm not a Subaru engineer, so I'm not going to act like I have all the answers or anything, but it just seems kind of crazy that if it fits, if it works, you know, why not do it? And you can always relocate the turbo as well if you still want to keep it in the same position, you know, that low down. So just seems kind of strange. I'm not sure why Subaru has been refusing us, but even if you just kept it with the WRX power, 265 horsepower, it'd be totally fine. Everyone would be overjoyed, and you'd really give the BRZ the shot in the arm that it needs to, you know, sell more cars and, you know, do well. Because right now it's kind of stagnant, and it's kind of sad because, you know, I think it has such higher potential than what is being realized. They have also lowered the final gear ratio as well, and so that is now, it went from 4.1 to 1 to 4.3 to 1. So they're saying that that may help with, you know, the whole acceleration. And also, while we're talking about the gearbox, it also now has a hill start assist, so it doesn't roll back on hills, which is nice, you know, for those that are new to driving manuals and stuff. That is definitely a nice feature to have. So there is something to be slightly optimistic about, although I'm not holding my breath. But at the bottom of the Subaru website for the new BRZ, it has a little picture of a yellow BRZ with black badges, and it says more BRZ news to come June 12th. So June 12th, we'll wait and see what happens. It'll most likely just be, because the file name for that image whenever you save it is Special Series Y. Which, you know, I don't know. It could be anything. Could just be a placeholder kind of name. But I have a feeling this is going to be much like the FRS, you know, editions that they've had, you know, that are just special paint colors and a few different trim pieces. And so I think that may be what this is. But who knows? Maybe they are actually going to be doing a faster version or an STI version. But it seems to be like that is not the case. And I know that they're going to be doing a second generation of the BRZ and the 86, and that will hopefully have more power and, you know, be a, you know, I guess a little bit more of a expensive vehicle possibly, and less bare bones and simple like the current BRZ. But we'll just have to wait and see what they end up doing with that. So who knows? Maybe there'll be something cool announced on June 12th. It might just be something boring as well, though. So, but yeah, that's it as far as, you know, all the changes to the, you know, BRZ here for the 2017 model year. You know, personally, I don't think, you know, if I still did have my BRZ, I don't think it'd be something worth jumping out of a current BRZ into the new one for. But, you know, nice little changes just to keep it fresh for a few more years here. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about the changes for the 2017 BRZ, and fingers crossed, maybe Subaru will send one as a press car for me to review for you guys, because I would like to drive it still, see if the 5 horsepower is noticeable, or, you know, see what the other changes do as far as, you know, the driving dynamics go. And so, I mean, it's still going to be a great car. I still love the BRZ, but we're all just wishing there was more power. At the end of the day, that's all we want. So anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care.